MGT Capital Investments, or ticker symbol MGTI, is a penny stock that operates in the mining of cryptocurrencies, mainly being Bitcoin, and they also have a small holding in Ethereum. So you can see here on Trading 212, it's currently trading about 17 cents per share. So you can see it's an extremely cheap stock in terms of cost per price. You can get a lot of shares for your money. Its market cap is currently sitting around 50 million. So in this video, I want to go through some of the risks with this company, but also why it could also yield a lot of potential and have a lot of gains in the long term. Now, before I get into the video, I just want to state I'm not a financial advisor. Penny stocks are extremely risky, and this video is just to outline my thought process of why I invest and maybe don't invest in some certain stocks. And finally, before I jump into it, I just want to ask, if you are new here and enjoy the video, please do subscribe and also leave a like. So starting off on the company's website, it opens up on their new future kind of development. So they have bought a new plant and a bit of land where they're going to start building and getting all their computers in so they can mine the cryptocurrencies. And so for those of you who don't know, this is their actual business model, Bitcoin mining. So Bitcoin mining is a complex blah blah blah. It basically just gets into the details of it. It's basically you get a computer, it runs the software, and it solves complex mathematical problems, and in return you're rewarded Bitcoin. So obviously all of this company's earnings is tied up in the value of Bitcoin, because their mining computers can mine so much per quarter, per month, per day, and they can convert that into fiat currencies such as Great British Pound or US dollar, and that's how they get their revenue streams. Obviously in the future, if Bitcoin becomes its own currency, that'll be a different story. However, for now, their revenues will be determined by the value in its fiat currency. So now looking at the company's financials, this year in 2020, they released a corporate report, as you can see here, in May 15th, 2020. So they have their corporate report coming out. And so in that quarter in 2020, they had just bought 1,500 new Bitcoin miners, which were the S17 Pro anti-miners from Bitmain Technologies. So I've looked these up, and these are supposed to be like the top of the market. They are what you get paid for. They're very good bit of software that you can mine cryptocurrencies, and they're the most efficient at doing so, which is great. That means they're going to be getting more Bitcoin for their money from investing instead of investing in second-hand or lower grade equipment. Another thing to note about buying the quality equipment is they are buying it directly from Bitmain. So you can see a note here, it says about buying it second-hand is not advisable, mainly because of the exorbitant premium at which machines are usually sold, and secondly, second-hand, if they've been used, they do have a lifetime. They're not infinite, so after a few years they do start to wear down and become less efficient. So MGT buying all their pro anti-miners from Bitmain Technology directly is a really good thing for the business. It means they're going to be more efficient and create more shareholder wealth. However, why that sounds quite promising and that could yield a lot of potential, it also goes on to say about their negative earnings, how they're making a loss. So you can see here their operating expenses was around $1.6 million. They had 605,000 in revenues created from mining Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and they had 1 million in general and admin expenses. So as a result, this resulted in a net loss of 1.3 million in one quarter. Now I also want to note, like I said, this is back in May 2020. Since then, Bitcoin's price has skyrocketed. So at the time of that report, Bitcoin was standing about just under £7,000, and you can see now it's shot up just to £32,000. And this was actually today, Bitcoin has actually shot up about 15%, so that's quite incredible itself. And that kind of leads me on to the risk with this company. It's very much reliant on the price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and that kind of begs the question, if the price is related to Bitcoin, I can show you here, you can see the 1 year chart for Bitcoin, how it suddenly goes up. MGT follows a very similar pattern, however there's a lot less volume, which means it can take a while to sell and buy shares. But if it's following Bitcoin trajectory, why not just buy the actual cryptocurrency itself? So there's a few reasons and pros and cons against doing both, but I just want to start off with MGT Capital and the future for Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin continues its rally, there are some analysts who say, for example Citibank, that say it could pass $300,000 per Bitcoin in 2021. And like I said, MGT already have the equipment. They have mining machines that are mining X amount of cryptocurrency or Bitcoin and Ethereum per month. And that's the same amount of yield whether Bitcoin's worth 300,000 or 5,000 or $1. So what that means now, instead of buying Bitcoin and holding it and having the risk of losing it or having to store it in cold storage and sorting it out yourself, you can buy a company that mines it and could effectively be a lot more profitable and continue to produce Bitcoins. So rather than buying one Bitcoin and holding it and it going up in value, which is great, you can do that, you own it. You can invest in this company that has software and hardware that is yielding Bitcoin consecutively, and then you'll benefit from the rise, and this will compound because, like I said, they're mining the same amount of Bitcoin regardless of its price. So you can see there it has a lot of potential. However, by mining cryptocurrencies also has its risks as well. So as I'm sure most of you are aware, Bitcoin has a halving event. So every 4 years, the amount of Bitcoin available to be mined halves. So that automatically cuts down MGT's yield per Bitcoin mining per month, per day, whatever, it halves it. So that means every 4 years they become less and less profitable unless they expand into other cryptocurrencies, which is a possibility. But for Bitcoin, which is currently their main target, it's going to mean they're less profitable. And this is where it could be beneficial just to hold your own Bitcoin and constantly buy your own and just benefit from the appreciation in price. If it appreciates, obviously that is obviously very speculative and has its own risks. But comparing it to a company that mines, it could be a very good option. So that is the kind of company's current standards and the risk associated with it in the future. However, like I said, it depends on the company being more profitable and getting hardware to mine cryptocurrency efficiently. So this is where the company has quite a strong position. So they have just completed step phase 1 of the Georgia facility and it's now fully operational. So this is where they just ordered all them new S17 Pro anti-miners. So you can see here the company is operating the 1,500 new generation Bitcoin miners collectively, rated at blah blah blah. So all of them, again, like I said, they were purchased directly from the manufacturer Bitmain, and it means they have the most computational power and they can mine 38 Bitcoin per month. Now, going off of that, them estimates, 38 Bitcoin per month at its current price is about £1.2 million per month. And again, this is obviously very speculative because Bitcoin's price constantly goes up and down. However, this month, if they sell it into or convert it into fiat currency, they would have earned 1.2 million, which is pretty incredible when you look at their current market cap of about $65 million. You can see here quickly, if they continue to expand and get more of these miners in and they're producing more and more Bitcoin while it continues to appreciate, this is going to be a really profitable business, but it's very speculative and very risky. So for me personally, I prefer just holding onto my own Bitcoin, and that's also for a few different reasons other than just it going up in value. I hope one day it will actually be quite a feasible and widely accepted currency, and that also comes with all the perks of having like a crypto, not necessarily bank account, but the wallets. And you can see already a lot of different companies such as BlockFi and Wirex, they're offering like crypto credit cards and all that kind of good stuff that tend to have a lot more rewards and better interest rates than traditional cash in fiat currencies. So that kind of sums up the video and my thoughts on MGT. Let me know if you're investing in the company. Like I said, it definitely has its pros, and if it gets really efficient and gets these miners and all this land set up properly, and they can do it by using cheap electricity rates, it can be a very profitable business, especially if Bitcoin continues its bull run and goes up in value. However, with the risk of Bitcoin falling in value and the company becoming insolvent, whereas if you held a Bitcoin, you could ride it out and just let it continue to appreciate in the longer term. However, this could cripple the company if Bitcoin does have a massive crash again. So that's my biggest worry about it, and that's why I'm not investing in it. But it could definitely be an option if you're open to that kind of risk. So let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.